All right, got a couple problems. And now, young people, look at the diagram and tell me, what do you know about angles 3 and 4? Are they consecutive interior? No, they're alternate interior. What do you know about alternate interior angles then? Their measures then are what? Their measures are equal. Alright, so then what do you have is x squared equals 11x. Now, people, yesterday I gave you some rules to follow when you're solving this type of equation. Now you see that letter x squared? We call this a quadratic equation. Now there are rules that you have to follow when you do these. And if you break a rule, you're not going to be successful. Now everybody's got to learn this first one because a lot of times it doesn't happen. Number 1 says the equation must equal 0. Now, that means that 11x has got to be eliminated. And in mathematics, the operation will be subtract. Now there's a difference here. This x has a square. The other x, I think we lost our number there. The other x doesn't. It has an understood what? 1. Well, you can't subtract an x squared and an x. So what we do here is that we write the x squared minus 11x equals 0. Next, number 2. Do y'all remember what it was? Or can I have to tell you? Yeah. Factor. And that's what we've been doing on our bell work for a while, is the factoring. Remember? We started the hour off with a couple of factoring. But this has only got 2 terms. Now, young people, whenever you're factoring, you look for a common factor. Now, that's a number or a letter in this case that goes into both of them. So the common factor here, now x squared is x times x. 11x is 11 times x. So what we do here is we say that this x and that x are a common factor. They both have an x. And you factor it out. That means you put an x, then a parenthesis. Just like that. Okay, now do you remember what the third rule was? I'm going to start off. Rewrite each factor, what? Equal to its own 0. So then you're going to have x equals 0, or x minus 11 equals 0, and add 11 like you're supposed to, and x equals what? 11. Now that was a little different now from what we've been factoring. Think you can handle that? All right. Now, young people, the next two problems that we'll see today are the 2 problems that always separate the A's from the B's. There's a little challenge ahead. Okay? Now, some people have the easy time with it. I hope you do too. I hope that's you. So let's look at number 7 on the bell. This is number 9, right? Number 9. 9 geometry. Okay, let's go. Let's get us a diagram. All right, the diagram. All right. Now, 1 is sitting here, 2 is there, 3, and 4. Now, again, it does say, it does have A and B. And A is parallel to B. Now, what does that mean when you say those two lines are parallel, cut by a transversal? That's a transversal. Okay, 2 parallel lines cut by a transversal. What does that mean? Corresponding angles are congruent. Alternate interior angles are congruent. Alternate exterior angles are congruent. And consecutive interior angles are supplementary. Rusty's back there resting on me this time. All right. Yep. All right, y'all pay attention to this problem now. Get off the calculator, Chrome, and listen. So this is very challenging. But hey, it's easy. Not if you're not paying attention, though. All right, measure angle 1. Measure angle 2. Now this is number 7. Measure angle 4. Y plus 20. Now, young people, look at angle 1. It says right there. And this is angle 2. Now, what kind of angles are 1 and 2? They're linear pairs, correct. And what do you know about linear pairs? Their measures equal to 180. Well, young people, if you do that, then replace the measure of angle 1 with 2x plus y. Now, I don't want to eliminate anything. I wanted to group it together. I want to tell me how many x's do I have. So how many x's do you have? Now, young people here, that's where I tell everyone you reached a roadblock. See, you can't solve for x. You don't know what y is. Where does it tell you what y is? What number does y equal? It doesn't tell us. Well, and then reverse it. You can't solve for y. Do what? You don't know x. So you reach the point in time where stop and regroup and go back and see if there's anything else we could do to help us get this answer. In other words, we didn't talk about the measure of angle 4. So go back up in there and let's circle angle 4. Now, you've already circled 1 and 2. Now, is there any kind of relationship between 1 and 4? Well, they're alternate, but they're not interior or exterior. One is in, this is in exterior here, and this is interior. We don't have anything. Oh, could they be called corresponding? No, because they're not on the same side. You got to be on the same side. So what else could we say? Well, that's out. Well, okay, now 2 and 4 then are what? They're corresponding because why? One is exterior, and what? And they're on the same side of what? Transversal. Now, so let's go over here and tell that. Major angle 2 is x. Major angle 4 is same deal. You can't solve for y because you don't know x. Can't solve for x because you don't know what y is. And young people, you're being introduced to the first time maybe, I don't know, you may have seen this sometime in the past, to a new type of equations. We call this system of equations. You've got two equations, one over here and one over there. And you got two of them. And we call this system of equations. Now, you can have more than just two, but right now we only have two. Well, let's put the number down here, one right here, and two over there instead of there. Let's go down here. Now, so we come up with a method. Now, if you had a graphing calculator and know how to do it, you could go ahead and solve. What?
Could you, with the number 2, x equals y plus 20, could you plug that into the 3x?
You know what? That's correct. Y'all do that before?
No, I don't know what we're doing.
So you just saw it and did it? We have a name for it. Good job, young man. Very good job. We have a name for it. Let me give you the name for it. That's called substitution. Substitution is just like you would. Yes. We're going to replace this x. We're going to replace that x. You got that? With what this x equals to. That's given.
Mr. Tommy.
Huh?
We learned this.
Y'all had it?
We had it, Mr. Tommy.
Addition.
Yeah.
No. I wasn't telling you that, but Miss Stacy taught us something like that.
Well, you ought to thank Miss Stacy all the time you can.
You teach
Because she did a wonderful job. She did a wonderful job to bring that out. All right, well, let's go. That's 3 parentheses, not x. What's x equal to? Y plus 20. Plus y. Now, people solve for the letter y by removing the parentheses. What property? What property did we just employ? To get your name.
Supplementary.
Now, I don't want to get rid of anything. I want you to tell me how many I have. So I got 3 y's and 1 y. That means what? Plus 60. Now subtract 60. 4y is equal to 120. Divided by 4. Y is what? 30. Now let's go backtrack and find out what x is if y is 30. So if we replace y with what? What do you put there instead of y? You're correct. And so x is how much? 50.